Midland and Saginaw counties in central Michigan are seeing historic floods as a result of two major dam breaks. All of our V teamers and their families are safe, and the Verizon response team was on the ground starting Wednesday, just hours after the evacuation of 10,000 was announced. Our WEC, our Wireless Emergency Communications Center, is set to arrive at Midland High School, the largest temporary shelter, in the next hour. We'll provide charging and other services with enhanced pandemic protocols. The WEC is staffed by Verizon response reserves made up of Verizon employees from across our business units who have stepped up and taken shifts. Thank you to all of the Verizon employees for being there for these communities in their time of need. Hey everyone, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Up to Speed Live. Today, I'm excited to have a conversation about Visible with Miguel Quiroga. If you don't know, Visible is an all-digital carrier that is part of our Verizon consumer portfolio. It's celebrating its second anniversary this month, and it's been getting some impressive press. Take a look. Some very cool stuff there. And I'm excited to have Miguel Quiroga joining us today. So, Miguel, thanks so much for being here with us. So, let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with Verizon and kind of how you came into leading the Visible team now.
Great. Thanks, Katie, and thank you so much for having me on. So again, my name is Miguel Quiroga. I've been here over 20 years at Verizon. I actually started my career at Verizon as a software engineer. I had a great opportunity to see so many parts of the business, a lot of platform development, a lot of work over the years. I spent quite a bit of time working on employee experience, which led me to the work I eventually did most recently at the FiOS business, where I really was focused on the e-commerce digital transformation there, where I led both the e-commerce product and design work, as well as doing a lot of distribution work. The effort there was very much of a startup within an enterprise, and in many ways, that learning brought me to the work we're doing at Visible.
Great. So, Miguel, for those who are watching who may not be as familiar, what is Visible?
Yeah, it's a great question. So Visible is an e-commerce business at the end of the day. It's an all digital wireless carrier. We literally just turned two, as you mentioned, in May of 2018. And it's a unique offering in the marketplace, and we're super excited to kind of meet this major milestone.
So, what does it mean when you talk about Visible being all digital?
It's a great question. So, as an e-commerce business, it's obvious, we don't have the storefront environment. So, our members actually will sign up from anywhere, from the comfort of your home, on the site or on a mobile app. And we recognize that consumers have choices in the marketplace. We ultimately are seeking a simple and easy to use experience, and that's what we're trying to provide: a high quality, easy to use experience that's 100% digital. It's easy to understand and easy to manage. That's really what we're trying to focus on.
So, beyond that experience, tell us a little bit about what it is that Visible offers to consumers.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about it as unlimited everything: messaging, minutes, data, hotspots, all on Verizon's 4G LTE network for only $40 all in. Now more than ever, I think consumers are really looking at how they spend every single dollar and what they get back in return. The business model and our core offering that we offer really takes away a lot of that uncertainty that often exists in the broader telco ecosystem around bill amount and data usage. And we've been set up to support them and give them the best possible experience. One example is kind of the flexible plan that we've offered called Party Pay. This is an opportunity where members can join a party, not necessarily a family, but you can join a party with anyone and actually don't have to know them. And then this is how you can actually share savings. I think it's a unique opportunity for people to get some value out of the service that we offer with the high quality that we bring as well.
So, you mentioned second anniversary. I understand it's also a big deal this month, launching some new creative. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited about debuting our first TV spot. We thought it was a really important moment in time to share our story with a broader audience. Our new commercial, which debuted on national TV this week, as well as digital channels across a lot of different platforms. We are really introducing Visible to more people who we believe now more than ever before will find our product appealing and helpful. Could
All
we
right.
run the spot?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
When Visible set out to create the future of phone service, we tossed the stuff that wasn't working. Stuff like foot-long bills and fees from nowhere, time-wasting stores, misleading ads, unhelpful help centers, and saved the stuff that was working, like Verizon's 4G LTE network, plus unlimited data, messages, and minutes. It's a simple system. Trim the bad, make the good better, and way cheaper. Meet Visible. Unlimited data on Verizon's 4G LTE network. Just $25 for your first month. Join us at visible.com.
Very cool. And kind of, I guess, for you and the team, Miguel, sort of a big moment and, coming out party. So I actually got to see that on the Today Show the other day. So that was pretty exciting. So Miguel, talk to us a little bit about how does Visible's business help Verizon grow its business and reach a different segment of consumers?
No, absolutely. It's a great question. So, I think it's important, first of all, to give a nod to the parent company and to the leadership across Verizon, recognizing the ever-changing needs of consumers and their behaviors. As that evolves, we recognize that there's a significant portion of consumers who look for activity to be done and commerce to be done in real life and a physical interaction. At the same time, we know there's segments who really prefer a digital interaction. Verizon's always gone above and beyond, but what we are offering within Visible, we think is a very specific focus around those consumers who want to interact online and manage services that way. And now across the board, then we can offer opportunities to serve all customers.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what you maybe have learned in your time with Verizon that has translated into now how you're operating and running the Visible business.
No, it's a great question. I think about it often. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Verizon is an amazing company. I've spent some considerable time here, but it's really the mindset, I think, that it's taught us, the ability to focus and constantly stay ahead of the curve, thinking ahead and innovating. The other thing is thinking about problem solving and looking at things that are ultimately scalable. And then the operational discipline and that type of purposeful collaboration to make an impact. I think these are unique to Verizon and things that I think we've tried to bring on directly into the Visible ecosystem. We're also marrying what we have brought as the best in class telco environment and DNA, if you will, and married it with some of the best practices from other industries. I think that mesh of great ideas and great thoughts brings the right type of diversity of thought. And that's ultimately what gets the best ideas to market.
Absolutely. And that's what helps us go after that new segment of consumers, right? So
absolutely.
Miguel, let's transition a bit and talk a little bit about our current environment and the COVID pandemic. So tell us about Visible's response and kind of how you and the team are managing today.
Sure. We've been offering support to our members who have been having a difficult time with their bills. We have some programs for that, and they've been going well received. We've also done quite a bit of community engagement to help, with efforts in both tech and financial contributions to communities that have been impacted, so specifically students, restaurant workers, and other underserved communities. We've also designed an interesting initiative called Visible Acts of Kindness. This is something where we really wanted to highlight that in spite of what's happening, people are in fact showing up for one another with kindness. We have a bit of a spot, if we could just run it, I think might give you a little bit more perspective on some of the things we're trying to do with that program.
When the economy started to take a turn, we looked for ways to help our local community, like donating devices and services. But we also wanted to find a way to help our immediate and extended communities. In a survey we sent out, we found real hardship and fear. When we offered bill amnesty to those affected, we found that in trying times, people are helping their neighbors and giving more than they're taking. That, ultimately, kindness prevails. So we launched Visible Acts of Kindness and partnered with influencers to ask our community and theirs to share stories and acts of kindness.
I'm thrilled to partner with Visible Mobile to help some of you that have been impacted by COVID-19.
All you have to do to qualify is comment under my post with a story, an act of kindness.
We're going to do a bunch of these, so please send me all the acts of kindness you have, and I hope everyone's safe.
We were amazed by the stories people started sharing with us. Acts of kindness, both big and small. In total, we received over 13,000 stories and delivered gift cards directly to those impacted.
Wow, such an awesome campaign, Miguel. I think the video mentioned a little bit. It came about from listening to members, but can you talk a little bit about kind of what the response and was it even kind of larger than you anticipated?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been so inspired by the community of our membership and those around those who are part of our community. And that's really was the point. That you saw some of the numbers there. They were really incredibly impactful. The type of social engagement we got is very unusual for any brand, and we were very excited by the response. But more than that, what we were really touched by is the emotion and how people took it on a one-to-one basis. Those small stories, especially in a time like now when there's an opportunity to share in the broader community of everyone who's going through this together, is something we really felt compelled by. So we're really excited by what that's had been able to do to share the story of Visible, but also to share the acts of kindness that are going on around us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, talk to us a little bit about, you've mentioned several times Visible, an all digital carrier. Talk to us about the process of getting your teams, working remotely and, continuing to serve your members and customers.
It's a great question. I mean, I think about our operating model a lot. We were built from the ground up with a blank sheet of paper, and being 100% digital, I think in many ways allowed us to think about pivoting to move to new dynamics quickly. This particular COVID impact was one of them. We had a bit of a head start that allowed us to move remotely more quickly. And we also recognize that at the end of the day, look, our employees and care agents are the backbone of who Visible is. Ultimately, by having a great experience on the inside, we can prepare a great experience for our consumers as well. The transition was actually pretty seamless. We were pretty happy with that. But what we've tried to do is double down on the types of programs and activities that can really emphasize employee engagement, the type of experience. We kind of overhauled our weekly all hands meetings. And we've just been trying to embrace this new normal as quickly as possible. As far as our infrastructure and care and operations teams, we moved in with a phased approach very quickly. I'm pleased to say we were able to maintain 24/7 operations throughout the transition. So I'm incredibly proud of the hard work the team has placed during this period of time and the resilience that they've had to try to adapt to this new way of working.
Very cool. So, Miguel, as we start to wrap up our time together with you today, tell us what are some of any final thoughts or things you'd like to leave our audience, the V team, with about Visible?
All right, it's great. I think a couple things. So first of all, we're here to serve our members. We're ultimately here to help. We design Visible for the future with quality in mind. And at the end of the day, simplicity and experience are at its core. We've been learning from our members every step of the way. And we realize at the end of the day that the type of offering we present means something different to every group of consumers. When you look at the spectrum of our member base, we have people who can afford the most premium devices and they choose us. We have others who choose us because, they're coming for more an accessibility price. Both communities are thinking about us in terms of the quality experience and the quality of service not being compromised. At the end of the day, ultimately, we want to be known for leading digital transformation and using experience first principles as the primary approach in how we are designing and scaling our product and brand.
All right, Miguel, thanks so much for joining us today. Happy anniversary to Visible, and we hope to talk to you again soon. All right, well, before we wrap it up for today, we've got a host of things happening today and tomorrow that we want to make sure you know about. First, tonight, our Pay It Forward live series supporting small business. Our ongoing, we've got USHER featuring Jermaine Dupri. Tune in on Verizon's Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube channels, BIOS 501 or Yahoo. Today is also Global Accessibility Awareness Day. If you missed the Up to Speed morning edition earlier today, be sure to check that out. And today at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Verizon Consumer Accessibility Team, in partnership with Verizon Media and Verizon Business, will host a virtual accessibility expo in celebration of the day. You can gain awareness and education about accessibility and why it's important for our customers and employees. All the details are on VZ Web and The Street. And class of 2020, get ready tomorrow for William P. Lauder from the Estee Lauder Companies and NFL assistant coach Katie Sowers. Tune in tomorrow, Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Verizon's LinkedIn for advice, words of wisdom, and a real-time Q&A session. This is the first in our Ready for Anything commencement series, and it continues each Friday for the next several weeks. The Build the Future Challenge is an opportunity for V-Teamers globally to help create innovative technology solutions for consumers, businesses, and society to address the pandemic and shape how we emerge from the crisis effectively. Submissions are coming to an end. Tomorrow, May 22nd, is the last day to enter your innovative idea. So hurry up and get those ideas in. And tomorrow, join Guru for Wellness Friday Q&A with president and co-founder of the Born This Way Foundation, Cynthia Germanata, former V-teamer. They'll have an inspiring conversation on supporting mental wellness and how we're all connected in kindness. Well, that will wrap it up for us on this Thursday. Jeremy will be back with you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Until next time, you're up to speed.